official weight of 12 stone 6 pounds, wearing the blue shorts with white trim, from Sheffield, Dean Walker. And fighting out of the blue corner this evening, with an official weight of 12 stone 1 pound, wearing the silver shorts with red trim, from Swindon, Kelvin Young. This qualification will consist of 4 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes. The referee for this contest, Mr. Jeff Hines, your timekeeper, Mr. Nick White. 4 rounds of 3 minutes.
So here we are once again at the Olympiad in Chippenham with the very popular Kelvin Young from nearby Penhill in Swindon taking on the vastly experienced Dean Walker. This at middleweight, 4 3-minute rounds, and the taller man with the Cross of St George trunks is Kelvin Young from Swindon, the hometown boy. Dean Walker from Sheffield. The Dynamo is his nickname. We'll see if he keeps up the power throughout the course of this contest.
That's right, we're looking at his record. It reads of a who's who of the middleweight and super middleweight domestic scene at the moment, doesn't it? Been in with some good boys, 45 contests. I've followed Kelvin Young since his days as an amateur at the Penhill Royal British Legion Club in Swindon, and he's on the way up, most definitely.
Yeah, we'll run through 1 or 2 of the opponents that Dean Walker's had a little bit later on, maybe in between rounds, but for the moment, Kelvin Young looking to get that jab away against Dean Walker. Kelvin, 8th pro fight this. 1-6, lost one. Last time out, beat Bobby Wood on points over 4 rounds in Swindon earlier this year. And good combination there from Kelvin Young against the vastly more experienced opponent. But this is the way to learn. And Kelvin Young, brilliant right that tags his man, and he's really warming to the task here, isn't he?
Oh, he's quick. He's a quick guy. He was as an amateur. He's keeping him on the outside there, boxing well within himself. Another good right hand there. And yet Dean Walker won't be fazed by that. It's nothing he's not seen before.
No, he's been in with the big names, as we were telling you, and now he's got a few problems with the former Kelvin Young, who's picking him off with those flashy combinations. And I say flashy in the nice word. Sometimes flashy can mean not particularly good, just showing off, but they're good quality shots coming in from Kelvin Young. And he's again just doubling them up once more, so pushing him away. The Dynamo comes in, keeping a very tight guard, and comes in underneath the arms of Kelvin Young, just tucks him up. Young, tall and rangy, but prepared to pick his spot, and then throws left, right, left. And then again, when just steps out of the way, good footwork again, and showing the attributes of a lot of the boys coming out of the horseshoe gym. They really are very fleet-footed.
Oh, that's right. It's all down to obviously his amateur preparation, and then training up there with Islam El-Yubev. Fantastic shot to the bottom there, using the angles well, working upstairs, downstairs, under the ribs. Very, very, very capable performance nice to date.
Yep, so longer rounds these, of course, 4 3-minute rounds, and Kelvin Young looking to use the time as best he can. There he is, Kelvin, choosing to stand, but he actually does now sit down. I mentioned it last time out, he beat Bobby Wood over 4 rounds. Before that, Bristol's Martin Robbins and John Harrison here in Chippenham last year are among his other victims in his most recent fights. Just go through the attributes that you've admired of Kelvin Young, both as an amateur and now as a pro.
He's got excellent sense of range, short, mid and long range, and he knows where he can put his opponent at any given time, and that's something that's it's rare to see in someone as young as Kelvin and his inexperience as a pro as Kelvin. But he's great. He knows where he can put his man and put the shot in there to maximum effect. Very, very, very quick as well.
Yep. So we'll wait and see what happens in round 2 then. Round 2 of 4. Kelvin Young, who I think I'm right in saying was a reserve for the recent prize fighter. Didn't get to box, but reckoned it was a pretty good experience, learning experience, and eager to find out more from more experienced guys. Well, he's doing just that against Dean Walker here tonight. This looks like a good opponent for him, really, doesn't it? Just to test him and find out, well, give him a few more puzzles to try and solve.
That's right. It's all about short steps and learning steps at this stage of his career. And again, Dean Walker there is a good test. He's been around, seen everything, I should imagine, in 45 contests. But he's really turning it on here. The body shots are hurting Dean, I'd suggest. And he's boxing up. There's the range again. He's on the outside. He knows just where he should be just to make Dean miss. Excellent boxing.
Yep, so Kelvin Young not looking phased at all by fighting somebody considerably more experienced. Again, Young just keeping at distance, the left jab going out, causing some damage. And good little combination once more, and again really putting them together. That's great. I watch an awful lot of boxers in the gym, and you see these combinations, and then they don't replicate them on fight night, but he's doing it here.
That's right. They all look brilliant on the pads in the bag, don't they? Because it doesn't hit back. But Kelvin Young there, he's putting 3, 4, 5 shots together unanswered. Excellent work, excellent hand speed.
Yeah, and he's just got his opponent just hanging on a little bit there, Dean Walker. Holding on once more. Young again, left and the right uppercut. And Walker's main weapon at the moment is just to get in close and not give him the leverage to get his shots away. But because of that, he's not firing anything himself. And it's just a question of Young getting back to range again and finding the target. Again, as he ducked his head in, he was met by a right from Kelvin Young. That was excellent. He really anticipated what his opponent was going to do.
Superb. That's hours and hours and hours in the gym. Repetition, repetition, repetition on the pads. Getting the drill, drilling it, getting it down. And it has proved dividends just there.
Yeah, brilliant stuff then by Kelvin Young. Back comes Walker, just stung into some retaliation momentarily. Push him off, says one of Kelvin Young's fans away to our left. She gets away from him, and now I'm sure we'll be looking to fire off those juicy combinations again. So another great round by Kelvin Young against Dean Walker. Now, we did promise a little bit of background to Dean Walker. He's lost twice to Martin Murray, who we know an awful lot about on Hatton TV, to Kenny Anderson. He's been in with Darren Barker, Tony Quigley, Paul Smith, and back as far back as 2004, he was in with Matthew Macklin. He was knocked out in the first round, but that is, as you said at the start, a who's who of the middleweight and super middleweight division domestically, isn't it?
Oh, completely. And on the way up, he's fought all of them, hasn't he? He's been great. Okay, he might have been Matthew Macklin may have stopped him, but I've not been in with Matthew Macklin, and frankly wouldn't. So he's a braver man than me.
Yeah, he certainly will. Of course, Matthew Macklin fighting for the version of the world title against Felix Sturm coming up in June, I think it is. So it'd be quite something to say that you lost a world champion. It'd be something for Dean Walker to tell his grandchildren one day.
Absolutely, and without competitors like Dean Walker, the game would surely die. There has to be good, strong tests like Dean to come forward and test the young and up-and-comer guys.
Yeah. Well, we've been impressed by what we've seen from Kelvin Young so far this evening, that's for sure. And he's looking to cement that in this round. Again, as Walker comes onto him, he just gets that short uppercut. and makes some more contact. Again, goes down, left hand to the ribs. As Walker came in at him, just as Craig was saying before, he's finding the angles, and a lovely right uppercut from close range. Really, well, Craig alongside me winced at that one. That must have really stung.
Just to lean back, give yourself room and whip that shot up inside. This guy is boxing like a pro at 20-30 bouts maybe, certainly not his 7th appearance. He's boxing well within himself, very relaxed, and looks as though he's been around the game for years.
Yeah, excellent, mature display from Kelvin Young. Just stood still, looking for his quarry, and then deciding where to launch the next offensive. And this time just going backwards, just jabbing and scoring all the while. Very impressive, and Kelvin Young went downstairs and dug it into the ribs of the Sheffield man. Missed with a couple of combinations there, but he's got a pretty high percentage success rate in this bout already. Just covering up, just having a little bit of a breather, looking for the next opening, and then a smack into the ribs there that resounded round the hall. And it's a bit of a masterclass from the younger man.
Very much so, very much so. You'd think that Kelvin had a 45 bout record, wouldn't you? Yeah. But again, not having it his own way. Dean Walker very much coming back at him, taking what he's got to offer. But the accuracy here, Nige, is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very, very mature performance by Kelvin Young. And again, just throwing him combinations, then the right uppercut again, splitting the guard, and beautiful stuff by Kelvin Young. And if it wasn't for the guts and the physical stamina of Dean Walker, you'd think that maybe Kelvin Young might stop him here.
Very much so. These shots are hurting, as you can see. He's winced a couple of times. But the amount of shots, the cumulative effect of that will break a guy down in a longer fight, Nigel. And I think that may well be the case. But at the moment, Kelvin just happy to drop back to the corner and listen to Islam, take his instruction, and back out again for the fourth.
Yeah, the fourth. It's the fourth of four. So Walker at least can see the finish line somewhere there, 3 minutes hence. And I'm sure he'll be glad to be out of the way of the punishment that Kelvin Young has been handing out to him. And a little bit more coaching going on in the corner, but I'm sure that Kelvin Young has more than fulfilled the pre-fight instructions that he was given, and he's put on a bit of a show for the Wiltshire fans here tonight.
Absolutely, and I'd say he's enjoyed himself as well. It must have been superb preparation. This is the absolute icing on the cake. The guy's come to the ring tonight to do a job, and he's done it, and done it incredibly well.
Yep, so Walker looking to make an impression in the first 30 seconds of this one, but then ships a couple to the head as those flashy hands of Kelvin Young get through once more. It's a brave effort by Walker, you must say that. But Kelvin Young, a young man on his way up in this game, you can see, and I would think he'll be taking a step up in class in the not too distant future as a result of this. You would think, anyway. Early days, I suppose, still, but don't want to rush things. But he does seem to have all the attributes that are going to make him a very good pro.
I'm going to stick my neck out, Nige, and say British title challenge one of these days, most definitely. You can see he's boxing well within himself, very, very controlled, and that kind of old head on young shoulders gets you those sort of fights. And yeah, I'll stick my neck out and say he's going to be a big name one of these days.
Yeah, well, watch out for him. I'm sure you'll enjoy watching this fight again for the silky skills of Kelvin Young. Good support here as well, just come down the road from Swindon to follow their man from the Penhill district in in Swindon, famous name in amateur boxing circles, and he's doing them proud as a pro now as well, is Kelvin Young. It's going to go to the referee's scorecard by the look of it now, but I don't think there's much doubt that Young will have won every round and will thoroughly have deserved the victory. As perhaps they're both getting just a little bit tired now towards the end of the contest, but Young just again looking for the opening, looking to see if he can throw some combinations. Ship one there momentarily, left got through. Again, that maybe just shows a little bit of inexperience and maybe a little bit of tiredness.
That's right, you can see the finish line. I'm sure Kelvin's celebrating already, and quite rightly so. And just caught one there from the experienced professional. Great contest, in as much as we've seen superb, dazzling display from Young. But having said that, a great gutsy effort from Dean Walker.
Yeah, certainly has been. So closing stages, and they're close together again as they have been for a lot of the fight, but it's Kelvin Young who's launching those flashing fists again. Great effort, great display by Kelvin Young, and full credit to Dean Walker. He had to survive some fearful punishment during that, and that young man Kelvin Young is a name to watch out for. We'll wait for the referee's scorecard, but if he hasn't won all 4 rounds, then my name's Johan Cruyff.
I think that's a safe enough bet there. Yeah, it was great. It was great to watch, wasn't it? Actually breathtaking boxing at times, and that's boxing is very, very best. Fast hands, fast head, but very, very self-assured and very calm in between. Great stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, the referee scored the contest. In the red corner with 37 points, Dean Walker. In the blue corner with 40 points, and your winner, Kelvin Young.